Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Game 2, Waldorf versus York College. Tedesco leading off for the Warriors. Pops it up out to second baseman Pepe Marquez. And if you can't notice it already, we got Cody Bach on the mound. Bach has been a fantastic pitcher for York College this year. Only loss he's suffered was against Bellevue, and he only gave up 2 runs there. Coach Walt says we should expect a lot of splitters, a lot of balls hit on the ground. Let's see if we can have some similar success like we had in Game 1. Lindsley got himself a win with a 9-1 score here. Panthers with a fantastic hitting and pitching. So hopefully we can keep it going into Game 2.
What's the 9-hitter?
Cody Bach
What's the 8 third base?
has Alexander 0-2 now.
What's the 7?
Next pitch is popped up out to the left field line there, and Mike Johnson at third base is able to get to it. Stepping up now with 2 outs, nobody on is Kendrick White. Bach a righty, White a lefty. Righty, excuse me. Only thing different from Game 1 defensively for the York College Panthers is we got Rudy Perez moved over to right field and Sean Goodall is in left. So Pella going to sit out this game. So he struggled a bit at the plate in Game 1. And Bach sends White down with a strikeout looking. 3 up, 3 down for Waldorf. And we go into the bottom of the first. 0-0. Panthers with a great opportunity to continue what they had in the first game. Cody Bach on the mound. Top of the order is looking the same. Perez, Enriquez, and Perez. Stay tuned for Panthers versus Warriors here at Levitt Stadium. And we're back here in the bottom of the first. Leading off is right fielder Rudy Perez. Perez had a fantastic bomb toward the end of the first game here against Waldorf. And I asked Rudy about it. I said, how'd you feel? And he goes, I knew it was gone as soon as I hit it. And my last at bat, I thought, you know what, we're up by so much, I might as well just try to hit another one. And he got close. But now starting off, scores even, first inning, he's just got to be looking to get on base. Hits the first pitch back, foul. 0-1 the count to Rudy. Rudy really displayed his versatile talents in the last game with the fantastic home run, and also he had a great bunt that he bunted down third base line. He was able to run it out, get on base. Tries to show bunt this next time, fouls it off. 0-2 the count now. See if he recovers from this here. Being down early. And righty Kieran on the mound for Waldorf. Ooh, An off-speed pitch that gets fouled back by Rudy. Big swing by Perez. Warriors changing up their defensive look. Switching some positions around there. Tedesco playing short now. Kieran winds up and delivers the pitch. Rudy swings. He rips this one out to right field. It's going to be back. Oh, but the right fielder has it. And that'll be out number 1. Number 2 hitter, shortstop Anthony Enriquez stepping up now. And quite successful in game 1, including defensively, except for his late game error, which tends to be part of Ant's routine. He tends to lax off a bit defensively if they have a lead and they're late in the game, which has got to be the only flaw this guy has because he's got everything else. Looks at that first pitch for strike 1. Kieran winds up and delivers pitch 2. A little hopper above the pitcher. Shortstop Tedesco gets to it, but he does not make the throw. And Ann will get on with an infield single. Ivan Perez stepping up now. And I don't know if Enriquez is going to try to steal second. Panthers struggled on the base paths, at least trying to steal bases in game 1. They were caught stealing twice. So Ant may just try to do a bit of a hit and run situation here. Kieran gets the call, throws back over to first, and Ant's going to run back safe, not slide. Kieran tried to be smooth on that one. But it's always tougher for those righties to get that spin around and pick off on first. First pitch, right over the top of the plate. Perez hits it, but it's a grounder over to short. Short gets it to second. Second throws over to first. Perez will be safe at first, but Enriquez is out at second. So 2 outs. Ivan Perez on first, and Jose Bueno hitting cleanup again in game 2. He steps up. Bueno had a nice double in game 1, and after game 1, he says, they never expect me to run, but I do it. So a big guy like Bueno, he knows how to move his feet, especially if he can stretch a single into a double. Perez slides back safely into first as Kieran's really trying to keep these Panther base runners close to the bag. First pitch to Bueno. Hits it back foul. Oh, 1 count to Jose Bueno. 2 outs, 1 runner on first. Here in the bottom of the first, score remains 0-0. Bueno looking to be first hit here, and that one's going to hit the corner for a strike. Kieran now going to the outside there, 0-2. The pitches out a bit, and the catcher throws it over to second, but he bounces it to him, and shortstop can't get his glove on it, and Ivan Perez will advance over to second. And if the shortstop, Tedesco, would have gotten that ball down, they could have had Perez in a bit of a pickle. But lucky bounce for the Panthers. And Ivan is now on second, and Jose up 1-2 count, 2 outs. Kieran delivers. Bueno, big swing, and he misses that one. Does not like that miss, and he'll go down striking out swinging. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the score is 0-0 as we head into the top of the second. Due up for the Warriors. We have Schultz, Bezayev, and Alexander. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball. Okay, and we're back if you can hear me. Sorry we're having technical difficulties with the video, but we'll get that back on as soon as we can. For the Warriors, designated hitter Schultz will step up to the plate, fouls his first pitch off. 0-1 count now. Bach, eager to get at it. There's a little bloop over to third. Johnson gloves it, throws it over to Bueno, and a nice ground out there. And 1 out to start off the top of the second. Catcher Bezayev stepping up now. Bezayev got his bat on the ball often in the first game until Seth Walker struck him out in the ninth. Bach winds up. First pitch, high and inside. Bezayev gets out of the way of that one. That's going to be a ball. A little bit of chin music from Bach. Next pitch, right down the middle. Bloop over to Marquez at second. That'll be out number 2. And the energy of the players happens to stay up with some quick innings here. I spoke to catcher Garrett Ankdill in between games, and he says everybody's just nice and pumped up when the pitches go quickly and get out runners out fast, and everybody gets their chance at the plate, and they just feed off of each other. So we saw Brad's dominant pitching feeding off and feeding into the fantastic hitting from all the Panthers in the lineup. First pitch from Bach down the middle for a strike 1. Pitch 2 in the dirt, 1-1 the count now. Alexander making his way from hitting leadoff to hitting 6th in game 2. He was able to get on base a bit. Perhaps they're going to try to spread it out. Next pitch is hit in the shallow center field. Nobody can get to it. That's going to be a single. Bog likes throwing those splitters down and making the hitters chop at him there. Golf swinging those a bit foul. Bach throws over to first. Alexander's going to slide in safely. The count remains 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Bach looking to get a nice easy third out. Again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we should be back on sound and sight. Sorry about all that. Interesting developments. Cody Bach got the Waldorf Warriors out. And we're here in the bottom of the second. No outs. Garrett Ankdill is up. The count is now 2-1 to him. And we had a bit of a discrepancy between Kieran and Ankdill, as Ankdill called time and stepped out during his at-bat and perhaps in the middle of Kieran's windup, and so he saw a pitch go up and above Ankdill's head. Next pitch low, but looked at by Ankdill, called strike. 2-2 now. Everything seems to be okay. I'm sure that the Warriors are a bit on edge after their 8-run loss in Game 1. Next pitch is hit. That's going to be popped out to right center. It's going to drop. And the right fielder didn't make too much of an effort to get to it. Alexander doesn't get there. So that'll be a nice single for Ankdill. And Rhodes is going to courtesy run over on first for Ankdill. And DHing again here in Game 2 is Josh Bergner. So with no outs and a runner on first, I suspect we may see Josh show bunt here. But we'll see if he gets the green light to swing away. Righty-righty matchup. Kieran delivers. Bergner puts down the bunt right in front of home plate. A fantastic bunt. The pitcher falls down to get out of the way of the catcher, I guess. And out is made at first, but Bergner does his job and moves over Rhodes. So Panthers have a run in scoring position, and Mike Johnson up at the plate. I'm not quite sure what Kieran's doing. He ran out to get the ball in front of the catcher. He could have just stepped aside. I mean, maybe he slipped and fell down. Everybody seems to be okay. And Mike Johnson steps up, 1 out. Quick runner over on second. The single gives the Panthers a 1-run lead. Let's see if he can do it. First pitch. Looked at. Called ball. Johnson shows bunt, pulls it back. 2-0 count now. Think about Johnson putting down the bunt, as I mentioned earlier. He did hit leadoff for some part of the year. So when he puts down the bunt, he's just not moving the runner over. He's getting on base himself, if he can time it properly. 2-0 the count. He takes that next pitch. Looks at a strike. 2-1 now. Panthers hoping to strike early. A little grounder over to the pitcher. Pitcher turns around and throws to third to get Rhodes running. Rhodes just goes for third instead of trying to challenge him with a pickle there. He just gets out sliding. So Johnson will be on first. 2 outs. And our left fielder here for game 2, Sean Goodall, or as we like to call him and he likes to be called, Goody. Goody steps up. He had 1 at-bat in the first game. Came up, pinch hit with the bases loaded. And he lined out to the pitcher for a double play. Kieran throws over twice to first. Johnson safe. He drops the ball over there on the mound. Has to go to pick it up. This could just be my opinion, but Kieran looks a bit jittery. Goody pops this one up. Not happy about that. Shallow outfield. Second baseman's going to get to it. That'll be out number 3. And the score remains 0-0 as we head into the top of the third. Due up for the Warriors. Villarreal. Smith getting his first digs. And Tedesco. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball. We'll be with you in just a bit. Villarreal stepping up now for Waldorf here in the top of the third. Score is 0-0. First pitch going to be low, ball 1. Bach with the righty-righty matchup. Getting a lot of love from the crowd. Another pitch in the dirt. And that's the risk you take with some of those splitters that he does. I asked catcher Garrett Ankto what the difference was between catching for Lindsley and catching for Bach. And he was like, well, with Brad in game one, it was pretty much just fastballs down the middle, and Waldorf couldn't keep up with those, so I'm sure we'll do fastball splitter for Bach. That third pitch looked pretty good above the plate, but a bit high, I guess, for a ball 3. 3-0 pitch going to be called a strike. (3-1) to Villarreal. Low. Called strike. And I don't think Villarreal liked that call all that much. But the count is now full. Nobody on, no outs here in the top of the third. Looks like the strike zone is getting smaller and lower all at the same time. That was close by the knees. And there's a high pitch, and Villarreal swings at it and misses. Strikeout 2 for Bach. And that's the first out of the inning. Smith now stepping up. He's playing in left today in game 2 here, getting his first shot. A lefty. He swings right away. He pops that one out. Right center. Perez tracks it down. Left center, excuse me. Ivan Perez tracks it down. And he gets that one out, number 2. Shortstop Tedesco stepping up with nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Swings right away, a chopper down the left field side, foul. Bach making quick work of these Warriors here, just like Brad, but even faster because he has got less strikeouts going. Tedesco has a nice hit out there in between right and center. Perez, and by Perez I mean Rudy, can't get his hands on it. Bobbles it a bit. Tedesco's going to slide safely into second, and Perez overthrows Ant at second base. Luckily, the runner stays at second. But now Waldorf has 2 outs, a runner in scoring position here in the top of the third. And Derek Bright steps up. Bright, another lefty, here in the Waldorf lineup. First pitch low and swung on and missed by Bright. And Bright just stood there after he swung that one. Like, why did I swing at that pitch? Bach fooled him there. 0-1 the count. Bach checks his runner at second, delivers the pitch. That one going to be outside for a ball. 1-1 now. Cody not paying too much mind over to the runner on second. Another pitch low. And Bright swings at that one. Check swing. And it looks like they're going to call it a strike. And Bach has got Bright chasing right now. Let's see if he goes with a splitter down low or just something high and fast. He winds up, delivers. Another low pitch, fouled back. 1-2 remains the count. Bach needs one more out to get out of this inning here. And to take his Panthers to the bottom of the third. Hopefully they can put something up on the board. But first we got to get through this here. The pitch. Looked at and a ball, I guess. I don't mean to seem biased, but that one looked pretty good over the plate there. Apparently now Low is not in the strike zone. Let's see if Bach goes back up. He stays low. Bright chases. And that'll be K number 3 for Cody Bach. And out number 3 in the top of the third. We head into the bottom of the third with 0 runs and 1 hit there for the Warriors. No errors by the Panthers, and Panthers have a clean slate here. Due up, we're looking at Pepe Marquez, Rudy Perez, and Anthony Enriquez. So stay tuned for that in the bottom of the third. Hopefully the Panthers get their first runs on the board. We'll be back with you in just a bit. Pepe, the first batter for the Panthers here in the bottom of the third, looks at a pitch for strike one. Pepe's got to be one of my favorite players that's come across the York College campus in a while. A little bit shorter in stature, doesn't look like much, but he's one of the best defensive players and most athletic guys out on the field. Do not be fooled. And as you saw or at least heard in the last game, Pepe can rip it with the bat. Fouls the next pitch off. Count now 1-2. We got a 7-inning game here in game 2, and the problem with that is you got to get your runs in earlier. You don't have a whole lot of time to slack off and try to come through late in the game. You like to get ahead early and stay consistent. Pepe rips that one over to second baseman, and the throw will be safe. Out. A nice easy play. First baseman gets his foot on the bag, and that'll be out number 1. And Rudy Raw Power Perez steps up. Nobody on, 1 out. Ready to attack here. Another one of our more confident players in the lineup, but the confidence is well deserved. In both his defensive versatility and his offensive ability. First pitch goes back behind the backstop, ball 1. Next pitch inside for a ball. Perez now has time to sit back and wait for a good pitch. He's ahead in the count 2-0. He swings at the next one, which was a different pitch than he was anticipating, I'm assuming, as he was nowhere close to that one for a strike 1. Kieran winds up. Perez checks swings, watches that one outside. That's going to be called a strike. Kieran go back to the same pitch here. We'll see if Perez can read this next one. 2-2 count. Fastball. Right over the top of the plate for a strike 3. Rudy not going to be happy about that one. But now with 2 outs and nobody on, we have Anthony Enriquez. Enriquez has the first hit of the game for the Panthers in the first inning. We'll see if he can repeat that here with 2 outs and nobody on. He swings right away. A chopper in between short and second. They cannot get to it, and that'll be on. Single for Ant. He's on his game today here in the second one. And center fielder Ivan Perez stepping up now. Perez quite successful in the first game, and he would be more than happy to deliver the first RBI here in game 2. Kieran winds up, delivers pitch number 1, a grounder over to third. Third baseman bobbles it, bounces off of his glove. And I don't know why he was turning, but everybody's going to be safe at first and second. And that's going to be called an error on the third baseman. And so now runners on first and second, 2 outs. Jose Bueno up. The wind is dying down here in the second game. Sun's still out. Everything is just so nice here for the Panther Days weekend at York College. Kieran delivers the pitch. Bueno swings. A ground over to the second baseman. He gets it, throws it over to first, and Bueno will be out. So potential opportunity, not this inning. And we're going to go into the top of the fourth. 0-0 remains the score. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Stay tuned. We're looking for York College to take this lead and take the second game. We'll be back with you in just a bit. Kendrick White steps up to the plate now, leading off here in the top of the fourth. Cody Bach delivers a low pitch, check swing. Strike. Ball.
That's a strike. You called it. They're wrong.
Scoreboard's trying to trick me. Umpire called a strike there. And the correction has been made. 0-1 the count now to White. Another pitch. Low for a ball, looked at by White. Bach really trying to get these Warriors hitters to chase. That one was in the dirt, but looked at. 2-1 now. Bach winds up and delivers. The pitch swung on and missed. Down he goes. Strike 3 and strikeout number.
It's strike 2.
I got excited. Strike 2. It was such a big swing, I wanted him to be out. Excuse me. 2-2 the count now. And a looked at ball 3. Full count to White, and Bach needs to strike this guy out so that I don't look stupid. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Thank you, Cody Bach. I knew it was going to happen. Just a little bit early, that's all. Strikeout 4 on the day for Cody. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Maybe I should just start calling all these at-bats strikeouts early. And then that's how we get through it. First pitch to Schultz is ripped fouled on the third base line. 0-1 the count. Bach winds up. That one in the dirt. And you can see, even on your screen, Anktil's got his glove in such a way that he's ready for those bouncers, because he knows that splitter is going to be so low when it breaks. Another strike hit in that corner. 1-2 now to Schultz. And I'm not going to jinx it by calling it a strikeout. Let's just see if he can fan him. Low, ball 2. Bach already set and ready to go. And Schultz hits a bouncer over to first. Bueno gets his glove underneath it, steps on the bag. That'll be out number 2. Beziev stepping up now, nobody on, 2 outs. A lot of chatter coming from that Panthers dugout. That's the kind of support that we like to see at York College. Very family-oriented team atmosphere. First pitch, low for a strike. Another pitch low, going to be called a ball there as Beziev doesn't swing. You think the Warriors would figure out if you just look at these pitches enough, they're just going to keep being out of the strike zone, but they're hungry for a hit. They've only got 2. And Beziev took my advice and watched a fastball right down the middle for a strike 2. I don't know why he's listening to the broadcast. Clearly it's not working for him. 1-2 the count. Bach winds up, and that one in the dirt bounced off the mask of Garrett Anktil. 2-2 now. And you can have a pitcher like Cody Bach take more risks with his pitches and stretch the zone a bit more and go outside of the zone as long as the catcher's gonna be behind it. So you gotta have some trust in Anktil there. Next pitch is fouled back behind home plate at a reach. Count remains 2-2. Bach looking for one more strike to get out of this inning. The pitch. It's ripped. In between second and short. Nobody can get to it. That's going to be a single for Beziev. Alexander up now. Got on his last at-bat with a single. And Beziev, pretty consistent. I don't know why he's hitting as low as he is, perhaps to keep it going. He hit 5th in the lineup both times as they move things around. But, I'm not the coach for Waldorf. I can't tell you why they do that. Beziev could just be having a good couple of games. Can't carry the team himself, though. Cody Bach steps up. Gets the sign from Ankdill. Ready to deliver to Alexander. Throws back over to first. Beziev will slide in safely. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Bach looking for one more out to get us back up to the plate here. Bach delivers. Inside to Alexander for a ball. Almost clips him on the thigh there. But he moves out of the way. One-0 the count. Bach delivers. High. That's going to go out of the glove of Ankdill. And Beziev will make his way over safely to second. Ball just a little bit higher than what Ankdill called for. So that one bounced right by him there. And 2-0 count to Alexander. And you'd like to get a quick out right here and not let another runner on base. That pitch low for a strike. 2-1. Alexander a bit taller. That one was closer to his knees. Another pitch inside. And Ankdill gets over to catch it. 3-1 now. And I'm willing to bet that Alexander takes this pitch, as he did in the first game when he's got 3 balls. Looks at it. Called strike. I do enjoy how these Warriors hitters are making me seem smart. Because if I can predict what they're going to do, then you can guarantee that the Panthers baseball team can. 3-2 now to Alexander. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. He just looked at that one. He just wanted to walk so bad, but you can't will a walk when Cody Bach is on the mound. Strikeout number 5 for Cody. Sends him down. 0-0 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball and more fantastic rhymes from your broadcaster. Leading off for the Panthers here in the bottom of the 4th, catcher Garrett Ankdill. Hoping to get on right away. Bit of an off-speed pitch from Kieran. Going to be low and outside for ball 1. As we get to the middle of the game here in the 4th, runs still tied at 0. It's important for those hitters not to get too antsy and swing at pitches out of the zone. Like that one. Low and in the dirt, swing and a miss from Ankdill. Whether you're up at the plate or out in the field, it's those mental errors that are what's gonna change the game here when it's so close. Getting later and later in the game. Another pitch low, called ball. 2-1 now to Garrett. Ankdale taking his time getting in the box. Kieran ready on the mound. Pitch. Going to be low, and I think Ankdale anticipated it to be a little bit more inside, and he turned. I don't know how necessary it was, but he draws himself a ball, so 3-1 the count now. The pitch. He swings. A chopper over to third base. Third base bobbles it, throws it over, and Garrett will be safe. First baseman takes his foot off the bag and can't get to it. And that's going to be an error on the third baseman Villarreal. And Rhodes is going to come in and courtesy run for Ankdale. Ankdale getting on base again. DH Josh Bergner comes up, lay down a sack bunt to move the runner from first over to second in his last at-bat, and I anticipate he will do the same here, as it is a similar situation to the second inning that we had. Courtesy runner on first, no outs, Bergner up. Let's see what he does. Kieran checking his runner. He'll probably throw back over here right away. Nope, he delivers. Bergner puts down the bunt. A nice one right in front of the catcher. Third baseman going to grab it. Throws over to first. Josh going to be safe at first. He runs that one out. And the first baseman for the Warriors does not like that call, but Bergner was indeed safe, and just a well-placed bunt by the designated hitter. Now the Panthers have no outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and runners on first and second. And Mike Johnson, the third baseman, steps up to the plate. Johnson 0 for 1 on the day with a fielder's choice. Grounded out. That was the weird decision where Kieran turned and threw it over to third and got the runner out sliding. Conference on the mound for the Warriors. When we were in a similar position last time with runners on first and second and Johnson up, Johnson was also showing bunt. And that's just the small ball routes that Coach Wolf likes to play with this Panther team. York College tends to have these quick guys with hidden power, but not a whole lot of power hitters throughout these days. Past couple years, it's been this speed, athletic, knock it down, get them around, get a couple runs, and win the game. Johnson showing bunt. And then there was a pitch thrown over to second. Rhodes slides in safely to second. And the ball came out from Tedesco, the shortstop's glove. And I thought it almost went into the outfield, but it did not. So the count's still clean, no outs, runners on first and second. Mike Johnson up. We'll see him show bunt again here. With that righty-righty matchup, Johnson shows bunt. Villarreal comes in. Oh, he pops it foul. That's not what you want to do. Catcher almost got to that one. 0-1 the count to Mike. Johnson coming back now, and Panthers with a prime opportunity to get their first run on the board here. Score is still 0-0. Bottom of the fourth, no outs, runners on first and second. 0-1 count to Johnson. Johnson shows bunt. Fouls that one back. Not able to get his bat down on it, and he wasn't successful with his bunts in the first game. So now he faces an 0-2 count. Surely he will swing away or probably take a pitch if it's not in his zone there. Kieran delivers. The pitch. Line drive foul. Down the first base side. Count remains 0-2. Sorry about the video feed. Hopefully you can still hear me and I'm not just talking to my friends up here in the box. Although I'm sure they enjoy it. Next pitch. Going to be in the dirt. But Beziev grabs it. 1-2 the count now. And we will try to get the video back shortly. I'd fix it if I could, but all I know how to do is talk. One-two count to Johnson. The pitch. He swings. High fly ball to right field. Going to be in foul territory. And it's not going to be caught. I forget that you can't see it. I have to narrate everything. It's not caught. It's going to stay foul. At bat still 1-2. Johnson has runners on first and seconds. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Looking to be the first run for the Panthers. First run of game 2 here. Kieran delivers the pitch in the dirt. He gets away from Baez. Beziev. Count now 2-2. A lot of chatter coming from the Panthers. I think maybe getting into Kieran's head a bit. And that one's going to be outside. Full count now. And the Panthers dugout sounds like the Seagulls from Finding Nemo. Which I enjoy, but I'm sure the pitcher for the Warriors, Kieran, does not. He delivers. Johnson pops this one up. Just past the infield. Shortstop Tedesco gets his glove underneath it. And that's going to be out number 1. So 1 out. Runners on first and second. Bottom of the fourth. And Goody stepping up. Our left fielder for game 2, Sean Goodall. Popped up in his last at-bat. His past couple opportunities at the plate have been frustrating for Goody, so hopefully he'll be able to improve and get a runner in here. Courtesy runner Rhodes on second. Bergner on first. Quick guys. Goody puts a hard bunt down foul. Try to surprise him with the bunt there. Villarreal wasn't ready for it and probably won't be ready for it as he's got an error or two on the day as a whole. 0-1 count to Goody. Watch Goody take a couple pitches here, even though he's behind in the count 0-1. He swings at that next pitch, and it's going to drop in front of the left fielder. And, it gets past Smith. Rhodes is going to score from second. Bergner will make it from first all the way to third, and Goody will get to second base. And an error on Smith. But a single for Sean as he drives in the first run for the Panthers. 1-0 the lead. Runners both in scoring position. And Pepe Marquez steps up. Marquez does good in these 2-out situations. I don't know if he feels pressure ever. He looks the same to me all the time. Doesn't matter if there's no outs, 2 outs, people on base, they're not. He's ready to get a good swing in. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Kieran struggling to keep this ball up. A lot of these pitches are either going far outside or he's bowling them. Not the kind of strikes you're looking for, Kieran. This next pitch ripped past the pitcher, past the second baseman, into the outfield, and both runs will score. Pepe with a 2 RBI single, and Panthers now up 3-0. And the second baseman dove for that ball, and he laid there like he had it. I don't know why he was just laying down. Maybe he didn't want to get in the way of a throw. Leadoff hitter Rudy Perez back up to the plate with a runner on first. Kieran checks Marquez over at first. He slides in safely. Still only one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Panthers have 3 runs on the board and look forward to more. Another throw back over to first. Pepe will be safe. Perez looks at that pitch low for a strike. And I can imagine Perez wants to rip a hard hit out to left field here after he saw Smith bobble that last one. And that's where his homer was in the earlier game. Another pitch was floats right over the top, going to be called a ball. That's not the kind of pitch Perez likes to hit. He likes the faster ones. Kieran throws over to first. Marquez slides safely. 1-1 the count to Rudy. A high fastball, and he pops it up. Back, foul. 1-2 now. One runner on first. 1 out. Panthers have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Perez swings at that one. It's a blooper in between left and center. It's going to drop. They're not going to be able to get to it. Center fielder slips. And a throw is made to the cutoff man over there at short. And Marquez will stay at second. Perez with a nice single, keeping the rally alive. And here comes Anthony Enriquez, who is 2 for 2 today in Game 2. 2 singles. He keeps ripping some hard ground balls up the middle, and I don't think Tedesco's going to be able to get to him if he does it again. Because he's got to watch out for Pepe over on second, and of course Rudy on first. Both these players got some wheels on him. You could even see Ant bunt if he wanted to. He can do whatever he wants. He shows bunt, pulls it back for a ball.
He
1-0 for Enriquez now. Kieran delivers the pitch, and shows bunt again. Inside, pulls it back, and that ball gets away from Bezayev. 2-0 the count now. Bezayev talking to Kieran. Probably telling Kieran that broadcaster sure is predicting things well. Maybe you should listen to him. Because Bezayev was listening to me earlier while he was at bat, which I thought was weird. The count to Enriquez with 2 runners on first and second here, 1 out. Panthers keeping this drive alive here in the bottom of the fourth. Kieran having to slow down a bit because he keeps throwing the ball in the dirt. He winds up and delivers. Ball in the dirt. Ball 3. 3 pitches, 3 balls. Ant looks at all of them. And if he swung at any of them, it'd be kind of embarrassing. But he's better than that. So look for him to take ball 4 here. Or just not swing at this strike. I'd be awful surprised if he had the green light here in the 3-0 count. The pitch looked at for a strike up and in. 3-1 now to Enriquez. Next pitch is ripped between first and second base. And runners are going to advance. 2 bases apiece. Marquez scores from second. Perez makes his way over to third. And Enriquez, with his 3rd single of the game, gets himself an RBI. extending the Panther lead 4-0. And Kieran, fearful as he looks into the eyes of Ivan Perez. Perez, eager to get his first hit of game 2 here. Runners on the corners, 1 out. You want a little bit of insurance, you put a bunt down here too, but I expect he'll swing. The pitch bounces to the catcher for a ball. Kieran struggling with his control here. Perez steps back into the box. Pitch number 2. Going to be in the zone, but fouled back. Strike 1 now, 1-1 the count. Kieran gets the call from Beziev. Delivers. A little grounder in between third and short now. And another play. Ant makes it all the way over to third. Perez gets himself an extra base and an RBI. Panthers with this small ball hit and run knock the ball down on the ground. Offense is crushing here in the bottom of the 4th, as that is the 5th run they've got. And a defeated Kieran steps back onto the mound. And Jose Bueno steps up now. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. And a prime opportunity to get himself an RBI. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Bueno. In the dirt. Ball 1.
Just like the last time?
And Beziev talking to Kieran on the mound here. 1-0 the count to Bueno. 2 runners in scoring position and still 1 out. As the Panthers continue to get hit after hit. And you'd think with the control issues that Kieran is having that they would have walked one, but no, the Panthers keep hitting it. Smith gets underneath a fly ball by Bueno. Runners will tag. Ivan Perez makes his way over to third, and Enriquez will score. So a sacrifice 5 from Bueno makes the score 6-0. And Garrett Anctil makes his way back up. Sorry for all the technical difficulties, folks. I believe we are back now. You can see us and you can hear us, hopefully.
Right, yeah, I think
But for those of you that don't know, Panthers scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Hit after hit after hit. 1 RBI, 2 RBIs at a time. The Panthers now have a 7-0 lead heading into the top of the 5th in this 7-inning game here. Our second game, day 1, Waldorf versus York College.
Well, in that first run that scores is going to be under no matter what. Yeah. I got 4. I think it's 4.
Leading off for the Warriors here in the top of the 5th is Mick.
We can go back and look at it later.
And that's the problem when you get later into this game. They've only got 9 outs to do something offensively, and the Warriors have just struggled against this Panthers pitching, and Cody Bach making his team proud here. First pitch going to be fouled off down the third baseline. 0-1 the count. Bach winds up, delivers to Mick. That one's going to be right over the top of the plate for a strike 2. Bach with 5 strikeouts on the game. Next pitch low, ball 1. Bach looking at a 1-2 count here against Mick. Delivers a pitch. Low and outside. Ball 2. Bach's only given up 3 hits so far in his 4 innings pitched. This next ball is hit to shallow right, but Rudy Perez gets underneath it for out number 1. And Villarreal steps up to the plate. Struggling a bit today, both offensively and defensively. And a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Bach set and ready to go, winds up and delivers. That pitch too high, I guess, for ball 1. One now. He delivers right over the middle, and Villarreal just behind him on that one. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Next pitch, low. Real golf swings that one high and out to right center as Rudy Perez gets underneath it, making the second out of the inning. And the left fielder Smith stepping up now. Had an unfortunate error for him in the last inning. We liked it, but I'm assuming he didn't. First pitch swung on, a blooper over to second. Marquez can't get to it, and that'll be a single. Making our way back up to the top of the order here. Shortstop Tedesco. 2 outs, runner on first. Waldorf, inspired by the little bit of life that they have here in the top of the 5th. Bach throws a splitter that lands in the dirt there, ball 1. Next pitch also low. Anctil gets on top of it. Smith remains at first. Bach, another pitch low. And that's 3 low pitches in a row that Tedesco has just taken. 3-0 count here. Bach puts another one just as low, called a strike, I guess. So 3-1 now. Strike 2 looked at here. Full count now. And Bach, 1 strike, 1 out away from getting out of the top of the 5th. The pitch is hit and grounded out to Bueno. Makes the play over at first. That'll be out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and the score is Panthers 7, Warriors 0 as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Due up for your college, Mike Johnson, Sean Goodall, Pepe Marquez. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back. Mike Johnson leading off. Here in the bottom of the fifth, first pitch going to be high and inside, ball one. Kieran winds up and delivers pitch number 2 right down the middle for a strike. Bit surprised Johnson didn't swing at that one. Next pitch, low. Johnson fouls that one.
Right, yeah, you choose one or the other, but
1-2 the count. Next pitch low and outside, ball 2.
probably because Hannah doesn't really know probably the difference.
And Johnson goes down looking, strike 3. Now batting, we got left fielder Goody. Goody looking to get something started here again in the bottom of the fifth. They're up 7-0 now. Again, it's a 7-inning game. And when you have this big of a lead, it's more of just seeing what you can do for yourself. Goody looks at another pitch, nice and high, ball 2, 2-0 now. Goody can really just sit back and wait for something in his zone. The pitch. Down the middle for a strike, looked at by Sean. Goody swings in this next one and rips it hard, but fouled on the third base line. 2-2 the count now. Kieran winds up, delivers. Goody, another chopper. Not doing a full swing. A little bit behind on the ball. Needs to pick up the speed here, swing all the way through. He'll be able to drive it a bit more. 2-2 remains the count, 1 out, nobody on. That pitch low and away. Full count to Goody. Inside, and Goody will draw himself a walk. And Pepe stepping up. Pepe with a nice hit last at bat. RBI double. 1 out, Goody on first. Goody's got some speed, but remember, he's taking it a bit easy because of the hamstring problems at the beginning of the year. And he goes. He advances to second on a pass ball there. So now Pepe's got another runner in scoring position. Pepe. Big swing and a miss. Loses the bat there. One the count to Marquez. Goody taking a good big lead off a second there. Kieran. I bet he throws back once or twice here in a bit. Pepe, a chopper over to short. Shortstop throws over to first. First baseman keeps his foot on the bag, and Goody moves over to third. So now 2 outs, runner on third base, and Rudy Perez steps up to the plate. Rudy would love nothing more than to smack another home run here, have one for each game. But if he does, it's going to be one of them high fast ones, not the low ones in the dirt. That pitch, off speed, drops right over the top for a strike. Rudy looks at that. Rudy not a big fan of the movement. Fastball, ripped. Just a fly ball out to Tedesco at short. He gets underneath it. Out number 3. And score remains 7-0 as we head into the top of the 6th. Stay tuned for the finisher for day 1 doubleheader between your College Panthers and the Waldorf Warriors.
Back at Levitt Stadium, first batter of the inning, Bright, grounds out to Marquez at second base for out number 1. There is a defensive change for the Panthers. Jordan Suter now playing first base for Jose Bueno. Bach still on the mound for the Panthers. Pitch count currently at 74. Here in the top of the 6th inning, that pitch is outside, so evens the count at 1-1. Pitch misses as well. Puts the count at 2-1 for Bach to White. White struck out looking and struck out swinging. Finds himself well ahead in the count here at 3-1, this time up to the plate. Pitch from Bach here. Low in the strike zone, fills the count at 3-2 for White. Exact same pitch there, maybe an inch lower. That's going to be a called third strike. Looks like Ankto must have dropped that as he tags out the batter. Did not like that. Had a couple words, it looked like, for the umpire. The umpire walks over and says something to him, but White not too excited about that call. Throws his bat and his helmet once he gets into the dugout. Regardless, that's going to be out number 2 for the Panthers here. And that's going to bring up Schultz, the designated hitter. Schultz 0 for 2 on the afternoon, a ground out to third and a ground out to first. Fouls that one off, puts the count at 1-2. Pitch miss, ball in the dirt. So two's across the scoreboard, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning for Cody Bach. A swing and a miss there for strike number 3, so Bach strikes out 2 here in the 6th inning. So he is 3 defensive outs away from getting the win here in Game 2 of the doubleheader against Waldorf College. Take a quick timeout. Be back with you for our 2, 3, and 4 hitters of Enriquez, Perez, and Suter. Anthony Enriquez steps into the batter's box here, 3 for 3 on the afternoon. All singles, has 1 RBI. It's the first pitch down the middle, but low for ball 1 as that bounces out of the catcher's mitt. That pitch is a called strike. Fouls that one off. So the 1-2 pitch here to Enriquez in the bottom of the 6th inning. Change up there, looks like a check swing, but it's going to drop and hit him on the foot. So Enriquez reaches base 4 times in this session. Most likely this will be the last time at bat for Enriquez and the Panthers, as they should not have to come to the offensive side of things in the 7th inning. Ivan Perez, the center fielder, 1 for 3 with a single his last at bat. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Pitch is low in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1. Pitch fouls that one off for strike 2. That pitch misses, evens the count at 2-2. Enriquez over at first. 2-2 pitch here. Well in the dirt, great grab by the catcher to prevent Enriquez from advancing 90 feet. Swing and a miss there is going to sit him down on that full count pitch. That's going to be out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That will bring up Jordan Suter. Suter coming to the plate for the first time today, as he had a defensive replacement in the top of the 6th inning, replacing Jose Bueno. First pitch he sees, he's going to ground over to the pitcher, and it looks like he's going to ground out into an inning-ending double play. Pitcher did a nice throw over to second, and then second over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Panthers going into the top of the 7th inning up 7 runs. See if we can keep the shutout here in game 2. And due up for the Warriors is Beziev, Alexander, and Mick. Back with you here at Levitt Stadium. 2 quick pitches by Bach. It still keeps the count at 1-1. That pitch, the exact same pitch that he got a strikeout to end last inning, low right over the plate for called strike 2. That pitch is going to be hit into left field. Goodall is going to pick that one up, but that's going to be a leadoff single for Beziev, bringing up the right fielder Alexander. Alexander is 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a single and a strikeout. First pitch to Alexander Misses for ball one. Two-0 pitch now. This is going to be hit into left center field. Goodall is going to be sprinting after this one, and that one goes up right against the fence. And that's going to be a stand-up double for Alexander. That one was crushed right in front of us. Unable to make the play is Goodall, as that was deep. And that's going to be a double right after the leadoff single. So with no outs here in the top of the seventh inning, Panthers and Bach about to lose that shutout as they've got runners at second and third with no outs. And that's going to bring up Mick, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. More than likely, anything hit in the outfield, whether it's on the ground or in the air, is going to score one from third. And that pitch down the middle for called strike one. That pitch hits him. So Bach starting to, I don't know if his arm's starting to get a little tired or if he's starting to lose a little bit of focus. Coach Walt's going to go out and spend a little time with him here, though, as that loads the bases with no outs. And that's going to bring up Villarreal. 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a fly out. Coach Walt done talking to Bach, and he gets ahead in the count quickly here, 0-2 on Villarreal. I do apologize once again for all the video issues we've been having today. I'm not sure exactly what. Swing and a miss there for strike three, so Bach gets one out here with the bases loaded, and that's going to bring up Smith, the left fielder. He is 1 for 2. But again, we've had some video issues. One, obviously, very busy weekend, so we don't have anybody running the video camera. I was trying to do that for a little while before Joe, the broadcaster, had to go to Songfest. And so now I'm on audio. But it seemed like any time I would kind of mess with the camera, I don't know if that's what was shutting off the feed here, because the camera was still on. Cords were all plugged in. I unplugged cords, plugged them back in. The only thing that worked was to reboot the encoder, and I'm not sure exactly. Obviously, that took us off the air for a little bit each time, so we do apologize for that. I already went ahead and ordered a new part. That should be here next week, if that is the case. A bad part, so apologize once again for that. Hope you're still enjoying and staying tuned, as 2-0 the count here to Smith. That pitch is in the dirt. Great job by Anktil, not allowing that to get past him and advance a runner home. Smith did single up the middle his last at bat. 3-1 now the count. Looking to see if we can hit this right at Enriquez or foul it off like that for strike number 2. Obviously not going to pitch something out of the strike zone very far as the bases are loaded and 3 balls. But love to hit something right at Enriquez or Marquez. That pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. Didn't even get it close for Smith to try and figure out if he needed to swing or not. So that is going to score the first run of the ball game for the Warriors. And Coach Walth has seen enough today. Allow Bach to rest up for next week. And coming in will be Seth Walker, who did make a quick appearance in Game 1. Cody Bach did end the game with 8 strikeouts, going 6 1/3, giving up 1 run. There are 3 on base that he would be accountable for if they do cross home plate. Take a quick timeout here while Seth Walker gets warmed up for the Panthers. Seth Walker, first 2 pitches he throws miss the strike zone, so quickly he is well behind in the count here against Tedesco. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. Tedesco did double to center field in his 1 for 3 at-bats. This game, that one's low in that same spot that Cody Bach was getting the call, and that is going to be a called strike there to even the count at 2-2. And this ball is going to be hit up the middle to Pepe. Pepe over to Enriquez and over to Suter at first base for the 4-6-3 game-ending double play. So great job by Seth Walker coming in to close this out and keep the Panthers in the win column. So they win by a score of 9-1 in Game 1 and a score of 7-1 here in Game 2. We appreciate all those listening and following along here on the Panther Sports Network. We'll be back tomorrow. Game time's slotted for 1 p.m. tomorrow, a little bit earlier. It's supposed to be a little bit nicer, about 10 degrees warmer, but a strong wind out of the south. So tomorrow could see quite a few extra base hits if we're not careful. So thanks again for tuning in today. We will be back with you tomorrow, 1 p.m.